Hi, friends. Welcome to Book Talk. One wonders what life is all about. If love is the bullseye in the game of life, then one needs to define love. But before that, let me tell you, I'm talking about the love that feels right. Now, this book has been written by Ravinder Singh sometime in 2016 and published by Penguin Metro Reads. Friends, love reminds you of marriage, duty, emotions, attention, aspirations, possessiveness. But love also defines, or rather reminds you of independence, liberation, binding, and ambitions. So then, where does the buck stop? And mind you, it is very primordial. It's a very primordial tussle. It's going on for a long period of time now. Well, Ravinder Singh tries to unravel these questions in this book of his through the triad of Naina, who happens to be the heroine of this particular novel. Then you have Arav, and then you have Manvika. So the story revolves around these three people. Now let me come to the storyline first, which is not at all meaty. Naina Singhania is the wife of Siddharth Singhania. Now Siddharth Singhania is a kind of a builder, and the marriage between Siddharth and Naina happened because their parents were family friends. Now Siddharth, or I would call him Sid, is attempting to expand his father's business, and in the process he's very busy, and they stay in a posh apartment somewhere in Gurgaon. And Naina, though, is educated, she's smart, and she's also well read. She is married into this family of Singhanias who happen to be somewhat traditional in nature. She leads more of a life of a traditional bahu and a housewife with a super busy husband who's even a golfer. Sid is highly ambitious, and in this pursuit of being busy, he knowingly or unknowingly tramples upon the aspirations of his wife, Naina. Now, Naina, after marriage, has become plump. So she joins a gym and tries to tone up her body, and there she comes in contact with Manvika. Now, Manvika is from the media business, and she's a TV anchor who conducts these TV debates. And then there is Arav, who is the gym instructor and also the personal trainer of Naina. When Naina comes in contact with Manvika and Arav, her dormant storm, now she had a dormant storm in her because she was not getting that kind of attention from her husband, and she was more or less just following what he wanted her to do. So that storm in her stirs up after meeting these two people. She begins to feel her aspiration and expectation out of a marriage remain unfulfilled by Siddharth. Her feeling of loneliness accentuates where Manvika, who is very forthright and very individualistic and talks a lot about women's lib, she stokes the fire in her. The trio of Naina, Manvika, and Arav meet in the gym almost on a daily basis. So they start influencing Naina. Naina falls in love with Arav, where Manvika prompts Naina to live life on her terms because you only have one life to live. Then there is a long discussion between Manvika and Naina in this particular book on adultery, but unfortunately it just doesn't go anywhere And like any other discussion in adultery, it goes round and round. So I'm not going to describe that particular discussion, which the reader can find out himself or herself. The climax comes when Siddharth has to cancel his anniversary trip to Maldives, as he has to go abroad on an urgent business meeting to meet some of his investors. Now this breaks Naina emotionally, that she was preparing for this particular trip for quite some time. She had joined a gym to lose weight, and then she had bought some dresses, and she was really preparing for it. But at the last moment, this trip is cancelled, just like her honeymoon trip, which was cancelled because of a business meeting. So she gets a feel as if this business and super busy type of husbands are not the type of person that she wants in life. Rather, she would have a person like Arav, who's a gym trainer, but is with her 24/7. And in this difficult moment when she breaks down, Manvika is the person who guides her through the emotionally and takes her out of this particular dungeon. Finally, Naina gathers the guts to voice about her divorce with Siddharth, as she tells her parents and that all her desires that she had from this particular wedding remain unfulfilled, and she doesn't want to lead this kind of a life, and she wants to feel liberated, and she wants to live her own life in her own terms. It is not clear whether she has finally decided to move in with Arav. Now when Siddharth was away and when she was going to the gym, her love for Arav had really intensified, and even Arav had started loving her. But the book does not give a very pinpointed way to think that whether she has gone across to Arav or she has left Arav, because Arav has moved away to Canada, where he has joined some institute and he is taking some training on physical education and all that. And Arav is a smart guy. He also understands the complication of attempting to marry a woman who is already married. So the book does not clarify this and leaves it with the readers to imagine whether she would go across to Arav or she would leave Sid and lead an independent life and not get married again. So all these things are left in a quandary. So I would say the book finally ends up with a lot of ifs and buts. But yes, she is now very convinced that she doesn't want to live with Sid and wants to move out of this particular kind of a life. The author finally asks a question to the readers on the definition of adultery. So that's how this Ravinder Singh tries to close the book. Now, after reading this book, I've got some comments to make, and I'll tell you what I felt. The book is some 232 pages, but it is extremely slow. It gives you a vivid description of how a gym works with all its technical nomenclature. In fact, the story begins at the gym. Since the book doesn't have an aggressive storyline, it is a boring prose, and even I would say it's a soft porn all throughout, and maybe that is one of the reasons why this book has sold in good quantities. I guess it caters to the college-going types and talks a lot about women's emancipation. Author has played well with the words. He's written it well. He's written it in a very simple format and has not used too many jargons, but has been able to express the protagonist in a good manner. Book is very slow, as I've already told you, and it is about gym, and it is just emotions, and emotions. It's a long, boring conversation of very stale nature that the society deals with, and there's nothing new about it. It's something like, you get married, then your aspirations are not met, which happens with most of the couples. And how they deal it is, everyone has his own way of dealing with it. In fact, up to page 90, the story hardly moves. Even the build-up to an affair between Naina and Arav consumes about 84 pages. Conversations are very well described, but exceeds the attention and interest span that the present day readers have. As a male author, he has described female emotions very well, and a lot of fitness research and posh terms has gone into this book. It has some snob value. The book is like a romantic song to me. There are some psycho battles also in this particular book. It questions the institution of marriage, emotions, and emotions. As I already told you, it's full of emotions. Good detailing of female dresses, deals with tiny aspirations, something like, how to look good all the time. And there is a tussle between the wife and work. For a husband, from a man's perspective, there is always a tussle which has been highlighted between work and wife. The surroundings and the ambience of the story gets extremely boring because it is just around the gym and some malls and Gurgaon. Finally, it's a novel that tries to convey a social and emotional message. The tussle, which is very, very old, and there's nothing very spectacular nor a suspense in this particular book. So anyway, if you have the will and wish to get into these parameters, you could pick the book up for a read. And I would give this book 5 out of 10, as it hasn't impacted me in any manner, and it's just a tale which is going on for years, and it will go on again for years to come.